Yeah, what's going on, man? It's a quick live, man. Hopefully that video plays later on. I was breaking down me spending about $500 within 2 days. I'm sorry, within a 3 day span on groceries. And it's crazy. I mean, I bought like a little stuff. I think I bought a memory card. It was about $50, but the main thing of it was the groceries, buying the meat, vegetables, and stuff like that. And constantly going to the grocery store buying fresh vegetables and things every day, man. It's costly. um I've been putting it off about my gardening stuff, but I need to go ahead and be active and go ahead and get that garden set up so I can start doing my garden to an extent, same as um me prepping meals and stuff like that. Me and my wife, we coming to the point where like I go ahead and cook meat for the week or something like that. I make a steak, like you see on some of the videos I'm gonna start posting, where I be on the grill and I go ahead and grill a whole bunch of meat, like cook wings, and then I can barbecue the wings. I can season the wings. I could just a variety, of wing flavors and stuff like that. Lemon pepper, teriyaki if I wanted to, and stuff like that. 12 L's and Boss Lady Denise, what's going on? But it's to the point where, I just, like I said, cook up a whole bunch of food and meal prep. Even with the size being fresh, I can just, you know, take some out of the can, throw it down, or I could, basically make something from scratch. I mean, it's easy to make mashed potatoes. Boil up the potatoes. Skin them first. Most of the time, if you boil them up pretty decent, the skin will peel off the boiled potatoes, and then you can mash them up, and there you go. Some people like the skin on mashed potatoes. Some people don't. Gravy is easy. You can make the gravy, little flour and stuff. Season up. I mean, it's on you. You can get the gravy in the can, but the thing of it is, you got the gravy. TC Gold Professor, what's going on? And to the point, like I said, I literally spent $500 in 2 days, and it was just crazy. I'm like, man, and so it's to the point where, like I told my wife, we need to more or less start buying our groceries according to what we're gonna eat for that week. You know, what are we gonna prepare or something? Because basically, it's getting to the point where I tell my wife I don't like cooking a whole bunch of food and just being wasteful with it. Having an issue to where we cook all this food, then turns around nobody really eats it. So nobody eats the food, then what? You know? So that's one of my big things that I keep, telling my wife, I don't want to sit here and have a whole bunch of leftovers, to an extent to where after 3 days of leftovers, we need to start chopping up some of them leftovers. And my wife to the point where sometimes she just want fresh food and stuff. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. So that means we need to cook less, to where, we cook small portions. And, with the kids, it's a give and a take. It's crazy because sometimes my kids sit there and want to eat everything. Sometimes they'll sit there and don't want to eat hardly nothing. Especially one of my boys. I always laugh and I tell people, Gold P know that my son Ethan, I always say he's just a regular kid. He like French fries and chicken nuggets. But then you got Elijah. This dude think you can eat lobster tails and crab legs every night in steak. And this guy, he eats like an adult. He eats. When we go to a restaurant, it was so funny. I think his grandma and them took him out one time. I think they was about 7 or 8 years old, and took him to the restaurant, and they gave him the kids menu, and he was like, "I don't order off of there," and he gave them the menu back, and they started laughing and was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I eat grown people food," and they were so shocked they called us, and I was like, "Yeah, you don't eat off the kids menu." And he tend to eat all his food. Every once in a while he might not, but he'll eat it when he get home. So it was funny because he went to one spot where he ate, I think, a crab boil. Dude ate like a $40 crab boil, and I was like, hold on, dude. I'm spending 40 on the crab boil. I don't even spend 40 when I go to the crab boil spot. I think I spent like at least about $30. You know, and his came out like 46 because he tried to do the muscles and all that, and I'm like, man, hey man, you need a job. Just basically came straight out and told him, man, you need a job. I'm not paying your habit. And then it was crazy, Frugal Mama was going on, Erica was going on, and it's crazy. So it got to a point where I was sitting there laughing because I'm like, hold on, man, you mean to tell me this boy trying to, spend more than me when we go out to eat? I'm like, man, you really, really, truly need a job. Like, oh yeah, this boy he eats. I remember when they did when the pandemic first happened, and they were giving people food stamps just because, like we never really got food stamps, and so the people was telling my wife was like, yeah, you qualify because you got kids in school, and so I'm like, okay. And I'm like, hell, just take them. They giving it to us. Hell, man, my wife was up there eating lobster tails damn near every single day. My son gonna come in there telling my son, Daddy, we gonna eat some more crab legs and I'm talking about for a snack. My wife was sitting there, him and my wife was eating lobster tails for snacks. And he gonna come in there right after all the little money was gonna tell me some, man, y'all starting to slow down. Y'all ain't buying like y'all used to. I said, hey, bro, you ain't got no job around here. Hey, you need to cut all that out. And he was like, but daddy. And I'm like, nah, bro, cut all that out. Nah, we ain't doing it. Like you be trying to run somebody pocket and stuff like that. Uh-uh. Man, honestly, what's going on, Dar? I got my twin boys that are young. My daughter, she's older. But I got twins and then my oldest son. I was so happy when my wife had the boys and we had twins instead of the girls because I'm like, girls is work, man. I mean, honestly, the attitude, like my oldest daughter, man, hey, we had a fight all the way to 18. Hey, all the way to 18, it was a fight. I'm like, man, but it worked out because when it really boiled down to it, she needed to work on some things in the area, but at the same time, it proved she respect the decisions that she made as she got older. And sometimes I had to check her, put her in a place, but at the same time, the attitude started, dwindling, and as time went on, because you can't walk around with a chip on your shoulder when you need somebody. And I would just laugh at that situation. I would tell them like, hey, you gotta respect it to check it. But yeah, man. But like, far as the groceries, man, honestly, even with me being young, I remember my grandma used to go crazy. Like she went when me and my brothers came to stay with her. She went from just being with my granddad, probably paying 60, maybe $50 a week for groceries or every 2 weeks, to just spending three to $400 a week on groceries. Man, me and my brothers, we was like the peanut butter and jelly and noodles champions around that month. Hey, man, them daughters, man, hey, they get you. Like my homeboy, he the same way. He can't, like, his daughter be knowing how to hit him, man, really knowing how to hit him. But like, man, I'm talking about like groceries. We used to we used to go through, like, me and my brothers used to go probably, like, because it was three of us, we were young. We'll go through like 2 loaves of bread every week. 2 loaves of bread. Either we making sandwiches, making hot dogs. And I'm talking about we was cooking too, because we was young. And like I said, my granny put us in the kitchen. We was cooking. We was cooking something serious. What's going on, Shay? But yeah, we was cooking young. I'm talking about my granny. She taught me how to cook like before 8. Just and I used to cook all her. I used to cook her breakfast sometime in the morning before I either go to school or on the weekend. You know, and it was to the point where we learned. She always said, as a man, you grow up. If you got a good woman, shout out to BGS this funny. He was saying that your granny was prepping you for I think he said to be a helpmate or something like that because I was telling him how my granny taught me how to cook, and it was to the point where if I got with a woman that didn't know how to cook, at least I know how to cook to take care of myself, instead of starving because she don't know how to cook. And I was crying laughing at that because I'm like, in the end, like, man, it was always a thing for us as men to know how to cook, you know. And that's why I be laughing at guys and they be talking about, man, the woman needs to cook and this and that. That's the house duties. And I'm like, man, I cook, I clean, like what's it to a man to cook and clean in the house? Like, is that something that is gender specific? I'm like, so what's the gender specific when you by yourself? That's why I never get that. It's to a point where I'm a cook and clean regardless. I got to take care of myself. So me having a woman in my life is a plus. That's the plus the thing. But when it come down to it, man, like I said, just me spending all that money, man, just in them 3 days on groceries, $500. Then turn around. I just went to the grocery store yesterday. We got Aldi's down here, and I think I spent like 200 at Aldi's. It was really we ain't hardly get no meat. It was mostly vegetables, a bunch of like kale and spinach. Dang, I forgot this morning. I got my mini cucumbers I eat. Like that's my thing. I like veggie. I've always loved the little veggie trays. So just to buy them is about $8. You know, for the little containers of veggies all put together, carrots, broccoli, and stuff. But I just make them myself. I just had some mini cucumbers I left at home. I eat the cucumbers and carrots while I'm driving on the road. I just snack on them with the celery while I'm driving. It's best to eat it without the ranch dressing, but I tend to try to eat it without it because that's important. Yeah, all these be pretty good. I actually got a generator from there. There was an inverter, same thing, but inverter, and I only spent like I think it was like 219 for it. It was in the wintertime they had it for like 360, and I just kept looking at it till the price went down. I was like, well, this probably be the lowest it's gonna get. I bought it for like I think it was 219. But yeah, I mean a lot of little deals. I go look for the deals and everything. Red lipstick vibe. What's going on in the building? Yeah, y'all see I'm kind of stable to where I can look at names and call y'all out. About to get ready to get into it and get to work though. But yeah, like I said, just spending all that money on groceries is crazy. And like I say, what my son that eats everything. I'm talking about this boy eat okra. He always get on his brother. He be like, you always want a snack, and I'm talking about I be snitching on him all the time. My son tried to eat a popsicle the other day for breakfast, and I'm like, bro, what you doing? And he's like, I told him to go ahead and just if he ain't gonna eat no cereal, just ask you get some waffles or something. He's like, that ain't no real food. I be like, man, y'all cut it out. Y'all always at each other neck. And he was like, but daddy, I thought you was cooking, so I was just gonna eat a popsicle. I was like, why would you eat a popsicle this early in the morning? He was like, well, I see you was cooking pancakes and it was gonna take a minute for it to be done. I was like, man, I know these my sons. Like my son, he'll sit there, he'll talk to me with a straight face fabricating, making things up, lying, and just act like nothing. I'm talking about literally nothing. Like I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm only telling you the truth. Ooh wee. 150. What did you buy? Like a T-bone steak? Like, hey, I look at the prices on groceries. I mean, meat is getting crazy. Like even with the snacks. Like they got snack tack down here in Georgia to where certain snacks they charge more money on them. I'm like, man, that's crazy. But going down to it, man. I mean, like I said, but yeah, man, I'm gonna get ready to do this. Gotta go get this done. Go to make this money. But Lonzo in the building, what's going on with you, Lonzo? Just vegetables and meat. Goodness, 2 bags. Like, man, I would really be considering. Um, I said this earlier that I was gonna do. Man, I'm gonna start growing my own fruits and vegetables, man. I've been talking about that for the longest, but I ain't playing this time though. I'm literally considering, you know, fruits and vegetables right now. I need to start growing it because it's getting outrageous. Like literally too much. But I mean, just like, man, being with the kids, it don't make it no better because the kids want to eat up everything under the sun. Like they'll sit there, eat up all what up what it pop say on Friday. You want to eat up all the home, all the chickens. They'll sit there and eat up everything in the house. Know what I'm saying? Hey, they do with them snacks. Oh, they ain't playing. Like literally, they killing pockets hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lady, pretty saucy Leo. I check out her channel. She has a garden, and she basically like her husband plants everything because she say she don't do bugs. I'm like, well, it ain't your garden. It's your husband garden. You just maintain the food that comes out of the garden. I be joking with her because I'm like, if your husband goes out there planting them and everything, but she'll go out there, she'll water them. I give her that. She'll water the plants and stuff like that, but she's like, she don't do bugs. I'm like, you gotta get your hands dirty. What's her name? Koja? Koja Malik, I think she does the same thing. She gardens and stuff. So when she gardens and she go out there, she plants and everything. She I think she's in Florida. So that's what she does. She plants like just plants, not even just the vegetables and fruits and everything, like flowers and stuff. She plants all that stuff. So she really gets into it. And that's my thing, man. I'm looking forward to, doing that. And that'd be a project for my kids as well. So they can maintain, you know, have their little garden set up and, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they are. And then you start getting into the fried green tomatoes. I talked about that. I used to eat that when I was young. Because, like I say, in the country, man, no, that's the thing now there, man. Them fried green tomatoes. What's going on, Big Rooster? Big Rooster, what's going on now? Yeah, but even you can have like little if you have balconies, that's what some that have balconies in apartments, you can do the little flower pots on the side on the balcony. The indoor ones are good as well where you They have a lot of those now, the indoor ones. Oh, hold on, right quick. And let somebody put in some work real quick, move around. All right, let me go ahead and drop this link. Oh, raining woman, what's going on? Raining woman. Say your name 3 times a year up here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link real quick. Now you told y'all I was gonna to go to work. Now you want the link. Hey, I'm like Gold P. Y'all not gonna have me on here all day. Told y'all I'm finna go ahead and work. Told y'all I'm finna go ahead and work. There go the link right there. There you go. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Sheet? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. We here.
All right, all right. Listen, good morning to you. Good morning to your chat, everybody. I was just, it was just an interesting conversation because I had a conversation like this with my queen, and I was just talking to her about, how we're seeing food prices go up and everything. However, one of the things that I think that people need to start looking at, if they can, look at your food, go to your food pantries.
What'd you say now?
Go to your food pantries.
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of them down here in the South where a lot of churches have a lot of, good ones. They give a lot of food out. And, a lot of the Publix and stuff like that, they donate, breads, cakes and stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely, and there, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. One of the things that has happened and is getting ready to make is the transition has already been made. Just so you know, and you're in the South. I attended North Carolina A&T, so you know that like a lot of those agricultural schools and everything, they're helping and they're also giving grants to people who are down there who want to, do their own gardens. So they have grants, Florida A&M, Prairie View A&M, Alabama A&M, North Carolina A&T. Our agricultural HBCUs have grants for that. In addition to what you just said, those Whole Foods, Publix, there's some very fine stores that are donating and giving to the farmers. What the farmers they're giving to these nonprofit organizations. What the farmers understand is that they're giving they're giving their they found out that when they were giving to the retail people, they were really only making probably they were only really asking for like 12% for a markup for profit. But then the retail stores marked up everything and they're making over 50% profit. So what the farmers are doing, they're going to the nonprofit organizations and the ones that people who have 501c3s, they're donating to them. And what they realize is that they could get 100% of their monies back from the federal government when they give to a nonprofit organization. And that's what's going on. At some point in time, very, very, very soon, we're going to see that the retail stores are really going to be phased out because this country for years have been paying farmers to what? Not farm. can't do that anymore because so much mayhem and so much stuff is going on around the world that it can't they can't do that anymore. So this, especially our country, we have four seasons. We have places. Even though in the Northeast we may have the winter time, we may have the fall, but we still have places like Texas and in the South and California and Florida. We have places that are in the South that are still growing, and manifesting wonderful agriculture. So in this country, we have an opportunity to grow certain things at a certain time. And if not, then we can always grow tomatoes because like here in New Jersey, tomatoes are awesome. But like, guess what? In the fall and the winter time, when we can't do it anymore, we go to another part of the country and we get our tomatoes from, another state. And that being said, that's one of the reasons why I tell people go to some of your pantries, check them out, ask them where they get where they get some of their stuff from. Some things, of course, they're getting them from farms. Some things, you need to make sure that you do it right then and there, meaning like you prep it, cut it up, do something with it, freeze it, blanch it, whatever you have to do. And then you can keep it stored in your freezer for a very long time. So that's my suggestion, and I must say it has worked, and I've seen my bill go down. I would say roughly about maybe about 600 to 700.
Yeah, I mean that's like my biggest thing. Just buying vegetables and stuff like that. Certain stores I shop for bargains. My wife, she get on me because I go in the store, I be there all day, looking
Hmm.
around, comparing prices and stuff like that. But the pantries are, a lot of canned
Yeah.
goods and stuff. They cheap. Like I said with Aldi, that store Aldi, like they're marked down on like a lot of their vegetables and fruits. They have a good better than the supermarket in my opinion. The meats are
Hmm.
kind of high because a lot of that stuff is, I guess, to a degree imported from, I guess, or something like that. That's why the meat's a little higher than like the
Hmm.
bulk chain stores. But other than that,
Right.
even going to the butcher, you get more bang
There
for your
you
buck
go.
going to the butchers and going to the
Listen,
farmers market.
go right to listen. If you're in the South, let me tell you something. Every year, me and my wife go to this place in South Carolina, a little outside of Columbia. And only thing you have to do, you pick, because I like beef. So I pick the cow and boop 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 and cut, and he'll send that stuff on to me, and we have stuff for at least 8 months.
Yeah, that's that's what my friend
You understand?
he used to
Yeah.
do that down here. Like he'll go and just purchase a whole cow, and I'm like, man, where you go to get a whole cow from? But it's places that do that. They like, especially when you gonna have cookouts, man, you got the whole cow. I think he said he spent like, I think, seven or something. I don't forgot what the number was, but he bought a
Exactly.
big cow. I'm talking about ribs, sausage. They prepped all the stuff for him, like you said, packaged everything up
Hmm.
and gave it to him. And like the whole cookout was a success. Had meat left over, all kind of stuff. That's like what down here, like a lot of the farms, like going outside of the city of Atlanta. Uh,
Yes.
Going towards like Winder and Athens, because I go to Athens almost every day for my job. But out that way, you have like farms that you can go over there, buy the meat fresh. I'm talking about there's not like back in the day when I was young and we used to live on my granny
Hmm.
farm, eating that
Absolutely.
chicken, that farm raised chicken,
That
all
farm
that,
raised.
all
And
like
and
fresh.
and you know them because you can see, well, chicken is a chicken. They're gonna eat this, that, and the other, and the third. However, when they're farm raised, it's a little bit more controlled, and they eat more grain and wheat and barley, oat, and things of that nature. Once you feed your animals those types of things, grain, wheat, barley, and things of that nature, they'll veer off and eat a worm here and there, things of that nature. But the bottom line is, because if you ever lived on a farm, Look, animals are animals. They gonna sometimes do what they do, but when you feed them in a controlled environment, that for the most part, their diet is consisting of those things that you're talking about. And yes, when that farmer when that man knows that we're coming down to get our cow, we'll tell him. I said, listen, this is what I want. This is blah blah blah. He'll say, okay, good. We're gonna make sure that we feed the cow a certain way and so forth and so on. It's more lean, it's more muscular. I like Angus cows. In Pennsylvania, we have Angus cows. Now, those are the black Angus cows. Let me tell you, those are the most gangster looking cows I have ever seen in my life. Let me tell you something. They will stare you down because see, I love to go out to the farm. I'm in Philly. I love to go out to the farm, and I love to see, the goat, the sheep, and all that, and the lamb, everything. But the Angus cows, they are big, and I guess they must know I like steak because they look at me like, what? And listen, it's a wonderful thing. Take your kids out to the farm. We need to get back to some of the little nature type of things. We need to get back to helping and supporting our farmers. Making whatever it is you have to pay for. I do my brown eggs. I still love brown eggs. I've never stopped loving brown eggs, but now I'm going back to it. And like I said, my pantries, I will they don't ask for anything, but I make a nice donation and show my appreciation. I get some of the young people to go and volunteer with the older ladies so that they and I get out there. I'm gonna get out there on Saturday and I do some volunteering and things of that nature also. There are things that we can do to help each other, and believe it or not, we won't ever be without when you do from your heart, you see. So that I wanted to just say that, and I really appreciate bringing this up because we're gonna have to change because the changes have already been made. So I just implore to everyone, make sure find a pantry that you like, or whatever the case may be, somewhere. And so go volunteer with a couple of them sometime. Get some young people to volunteer, okay? Because young people think that they can just eat and then that's it. And no, they have to know where food comes from. Teach them, show them. Better yet, show them. There's nothing wrong with it. And again, all the HBCUs that have the A in it, and North Carolina A&T, Prairie View A&M, Texas, well, Texas A&M is one, but it's not an HBCU. Florida A&M, so forth and so on. Those HBCUs, Alabama A&M, have grants now, and they are giving people money to start their own gardens in their on their own land. So, do look into that if you can. If you know of anybody who's in and around those areas, share that information with them because it's about time finally. We're getting a little bit back to some things, but we're getting ready to have a lot of changes made. So if you can help save your money and reinvest it in some other things and reinvest in your business and into your home and things of that nature, then start doing that because we're going to need each other more than ever. August is coming. Be mindful of what's going to happen in August. You talk about finances and home, the housing industry, what's about to occur. So
Yeah, that's. I
people,
mean, I talk about that a lot.
yeah, you
Let's talk
do
about
all
it
the
with
time.
Anita. Shout out to you. Be the Difference Clothing. Shout out to you as well. Yeah, because I mean, that's why I keep talking about with family. A lot of people not having that family structure no more. Like I said, when you used to have your uncle
Right.
stay with your big mom, or you had family members come stay with you when they was down on their luck, or just just running through short, hard on money. Nowadays, nobody don't want to stay with each other and help each other out. So when you're in a bad situation, you literally lose your house, lose your car, everything because families don't want to work with each other no more, and it's being pushed for everybody to be selfish and don't maintain a level of respect for one another. Back in the day when the family system was strong, that's how people survived. You
There
know,
you go.
you had family members over here that had rice, somebody had beans, somebody had meat. You came together on Sundays, had the family dinner, everybody took care of each other. Now
There
that's
you
not
go.
being taught. So, like I said, everybody to an extent, can fall at one point in life, but being together, and I mean, like I say, the cliche, together we stand, divided we fall. And a lot of people divided, they're gonna be losing out, But if you
Ooh.
really don't have the money, you can't sustain life.
And we gotta, if you, like you said, if we don't have the capital, we're not gonna be able to sustain. But you better have something to barter with. You better know how to do something. You better know how to, or have something that you can barter with, maybe with, to get to supplement and to get some other things. Just like you said, I will say this: the economists have definitely been saying that they've just been confirming what many of us have already known we're getting ready to happen. So seriously, everybody, buckle up because it's nut up, get ready because it is definitely going to happen. And there's some other things that are getting ready to happen too. So just handle your business. Be nice to people if you can. I know sometimes people work your nerve and get on your nerve, and family especially. Family, especially neighbors, close people, just, if we can be as amicable and peaceful as possible. And then sometimes you just got to really let people go and let them go on their way and they'll find their way. Don't talk about what you have in your house. Don't talk about what you're doing. If you're storing and you have a deep freezer, keep your goods in there and handle your business. And the people who are like minded, like you, doing the same things like you, those are the people that that you try to make sure that you know who they are so that y'all can help each other. In the event that somebody needs some help, you vet them. A lot of people say, "Oh, I need help. Oh, it's on there," and you say, "Okay, wait. We'll talk it out, and you talk to them and find out what the situation is because there are people, places, and things outside that can always help. There's a lot of help out there, especially now. So, this is your forum. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having this talk in this conversation because it is much needed. And I appreciate you always talking about the financial structure and the housing structure. Uh, then I'm gonna step off and get ready for my day.
Yeah, me too as well. I just seen Go Professor going live. I'm about to probably slide over there. But
All right.
like I be
Everybody
telling
have a
people,
great day.
all right. I be telling people about
Peace.
the finance, getting itself prepared. I always talk about Alonzo, shout out to him, you know, life insurance. You don't want to be a burden to nobody. And also you want to have it to where, at least some things are in place for you. A lot of people fail to realize that, me talking about the finance, me talking about, the housing market, everything is trying to get people prepared and prepped for what's going to happen later on down the line. You want to be proactive about a lot of this stuff. So that's why I always push the knowledge because, like I said, this whole gender war, you can go to every channel and hear something about men doing this and women doing that. But in the end, when your mind is on that and you're not even paying attention to what's in front of you, when, like I was saying, me spending $500 within 3 days on my grocery bill, like we're not paying attention to the obvious because, we got our blinders on by the media entertaining us. So, when you start really getting back to the money and start realizing stuff around you, because you'll understand before you know it. When your pockets start hurting or you can't pay that bill, that's when you start gravitating to, man, I need to do more. I need to do better. But like I said, I'm at work myself, so I'm about to go ahead and break this off and shout out to everybody that came through. you know, get yourself together, prep and plan. That's why I say, make sure you have a game plan, financially structured. Go over some things, man. Go get you a pencil and paper one day or sometime you have the time and just sit down and write stuff down. Nobody does that anymore. We always, even if you do it on your phone, I can say the least, but doing it the old fashioned way, you ain't got no notifications popping up to where you get distracted and want to go back to that versus actually doing what you need to be doing. But like I said, like always, enjoy everybody coming through. We here and we gone.